So we're locked in right now to the ongoing fraud going on in Minnesota involving members of the Somali community that has clearly sent Democrats into full-blown panic mode right now. The full scope isn't known yet as more and more information continues to come out, but what can't be ignored is the role that Democratic leadership in Minnesota played in this entire thing. Whether the involvement looks like campaign donations, political protection, or simply turning a blind eye to secure a voting bloc, the question has to be asked. What did people in power know? And when did they know it? We're talking about individuals who hold real authority. The mayor, the governor, Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar. How much do they know that they're not telling the public? Because fraud on this scale doesn't exist in a vacuum. It doesn't happen without people with power protecting people without it. And now that this is coming out, we're seeing the backlash, we're seeing the spin, we're seeing the familiar bag of political and media tricks come out. Deflection, outrage, character attacks. And so, as always, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you love the video. Subscribe to the channel for more and share this video. That way more people see what's really going on. And so what we've seen basically up until this point has been an effort by the mainstream liberal media, by the left, Democrats, to basically provide as little exposure to this particular story when it comes to the fraud going on in Minnesota. Give it as little attention as possible. But after Nick Shirley's viral video, it really left them with no choice but to address it. And so Democrats are defending the Somali community even after the proven fraud. Take a listen.
What are we hearing from members of Congress, particularly ones from Minnesota or from senators as well here, in the backdrop of what Alex is describing there, that there has already been this scrutiny, these attacks, these threats towards Somali Americans, and some of that has come directly from elected leaders on the right. What are you seeing and hearing?
Right. So, I mean, and one of those is Congressman Tom Emmer, who is one of the top Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives. He kind of reiterating some of those points that we just heard from Alex, saying that if those that are committing fraud, in his words, are here illegally, deport them immediately. If they're naturalized citizens, revoke their citizenship and deport them quickly thereafter. If we need to change the law to do that, I will. At the same time, we're hearing across the aisle Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is, of course, herself also Somali American. She is basically saying, don't paint with a broad brush the actions of potentially a few that are being investigated and pursued here.
So let's be honest about how we really got here. Our president decided he doesn't like the Somali community and he wants to destroy them. Speaker DeMuth and the GOP caucus sent a YouTuber out to create the narrative they want out there, not the truth. What they want you to believe. The child care system in Minnesota is very complicated, even for those of us who have worked in it for decades. So I can understand that it is easy to believe what you see on social media. But the truth is that Minnesota has guardrails in place to make defrauding the child care system extremely difficult. Minnesota does investigate suspected fraud in child care and hold people accountable. And they will continue to do so, because fraud is never acceptable. But cutting off child care funding to everyone in the state is not the answer, and it's not acceptable.
You have to resort to tactics like accusing the president of sending a 23-year-old YouTuber out to do his dirty work. According to Democrats, you know the lie has gotten so big to the point where now they're grasping at straws. Democrats running the state of Minnesota don't want anyone really looking into what's going on out there because of what they might find. And so now they've sent out their brigade of liberal white women to try and combat all of the negative attention they've been getting. Take a listen.
Good is more than we receive. It is my understanding that the Department of Children, Youth and Families is working with their county partners, the teams at the OIG and the BCA on reports of alleged fraud. While the Trump administration continues to find any reason to defund public programs in order to give tax cuts to billionaires, here in Minnesota, we are going to stay focused on fraud prevention and solutions that will actually make Minnesotans' lives better. DFLers will be doing everything that we can this session on top of fraud prevention to make sure that Minnesota stays a great place to live, work, and raise a family, even as Trump works to defund our state. Thank you.
In many cases, child care assistance is a crucial piece of survival. I'm generally scared for what can happen next if funding is stopped, and I can't help but think that this is part of a larger designed plan and strategy to cut public funding. And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud, the fraud that is occurring is not at the hands of families. We need to be looking at who's in power, who's making decisions, who's guarding the purse strings of our tax dollars, my tax dollars too, and making sure that children have places to go that are safe for them to learn, parents can go to work, and providers can keep their doors open. That's what I have to say. I went a little off script. Thank you.
My name is Deco Noor. I'm a parent who receives federal funding for childcare for my kiddo. Over 20,000 kids will lose access to childcare programs. And that, that 20,000, thousands of children rely on childcare, and thousands of parents rely on childcare. Therefore, if childcare will, oh my God.
Take your time.
I'm currently a medical student. I rely on childcare. I work. If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
And so, yeah, there you have that, ladies and gentlemen. And so the alarm is sounding, because what was once a great time to live in Minnesota if you were Somali and a Democrat politician now spells trouble because of all of the negative attention that has been thrusted upon the city, upon the state. And what appears to be getting discovered is an entire system dependent on fraud. And so now let's get into this clip, which this is rich. This is quite, I mean, you couldn't make this up. I mean, you could make this up, but if you did, people probably would look at you like you were crazy because of how poorly written the script is. And so let's get into this next clip where apparently one of the managers for the Somali Daycare Center, they were robbed. Their daycare center was vandalized. They were robbed. And apparently the robbers, they didn't go after anything of, value that I guess you and I would think is valuable. But apparently for robbers in Minnesota, documents of names and children are high ticket items on the black market nowadays because they went straight for the file cabinet. And so, and it happened to be the very information that would have cleared these people's good names and cleared all of this up. The very documents that would have proven the legitimacy of their business. Somehow, these robbers, these thieves, these vandals, they came in like thieves in the night, Ocean's 11 style, masked, drilling through brick wall, everything, all for some paperwork in order to thwart a daycare center. I tell you, when daycare centers can't operate in good faith, we are losing communities. Take a listen.
Spent a couple of hours trying to break in.
A small hole in the utility room stemming from a larger hole in the exterior brick wall. The apparent entry point for a perplexing break-in reported at a South Minneapolis daycare.
This is frightening and exhausting.
Surveillance video outside Nokomis Daycare Center captured a blurry, shadowy figure at around 3 a.m. Tuesday near the spot where the brick wall was cut through. The next-door Family Dollar also shows evidence of an attempted break-in at 2 spots. And the daycare reported theft of its records, including parent information and racist threats.
And so, yeah, apparently that's their story and they're sticking to it. Vandals. A blurred vision of vandals caught on the security camera, of course, because we need the evidence. Came in and they stole documentation daycare centers seem to be a hot pocket for theft nowadays. Who knew? Who knew? But let's listen. This is the manager. This is the manager of that Somali daycare center explaining in detail exactly the trauma and explaining the break-in. Take a listen.
Unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community, as one video made by a specific individual made this all happen. We've been receiving hateful messages through our voice notes threatening us since the past couple of days, including one that happened yesterday morning when after the break-in. This is frightening and exhausting because this is happening to us Somali communities as Somali Americans. We are supposed to stand with each other and help each other through everything that's happening. This is also sad that a video can cause all of this. I want to say that there are hundreds of daycares out there, Somali daycares that are out there, and we all help our children and everyone in our community. We have high quality daycares, and this is very sad news that one individual who made a false claim about fraud that is happening in the daycares engaged everyone else to come and do this to us.
So now listen to how ridiculous this sounds. Let's use some logic here. You're under scrutiny for fraud. Questions are being asked about documents, finances, and legitimacy. And then conveniently, we're told those documents were suddenly stolen in a robbery. I mean, give me a break. I mean, listen, I'm just saying, questioning the accuracy, the truthfulness of his story, I don't think that's really out of bounds. I don't. But this is what happens when everybody's in on the con. You get everyone out in front of the camera. You get people willing to come up with whatever bright idea they could figure out together. And clearly, this is their story and they're sticking to it. But unfortunately, it just doesn't all add up because cops tell a different story. It says right here, New York Post reports Minnesota Somali run daycare bizarrely reports their documents were stolen in mysterious break-in, but cops tell a different story. And so it says a Somali run daycare in Minneapolis is claiming somebody broke in and stole important documents, but cops say the facility didn't report anything was actually taken. And so they're getting in front of the camera and they're saying, we were robbed, guys. And those important documents that would have cleared our good names as legit businessmen, they were stolen by thieves, Ocean 11 style, breaking through brick wall in the middle of the night and leaving off like the treacherous thieves they are. But then the police are saying, well, we don't have any report of that. But things like this can work, especially when you have the media on your side. And so now apparently CNN, get this, they decided that they're going to do some investigative journalism work. They're going to start digging into this fraud and they're going to get to the bottom of this. They're going to make the calls. They're going to do the footwork. They're going to do the things necessary in order to bring us the truth. And so take a listen as they now put their investigative caps on to find out exactly who's committing this fraud.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business.
Have you seen the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
We have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to push this forward every way that we can.
At the daycare where Shirley showed back up, a stream of children walk inside.
You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being dropped off right now.
Yes. The Commissioner of Children literally said a week ago this place was closed.
Did you know
They're
that?
showing face right now.
A viral video, disputed claims, and their full fallout remains to be seen.
And so, yeah, there you guys have it. CNN doing the heavy lifting that journalism requires, making the calls. And as you heard there, they spoke to someone in a daycare facility, and they said they're legit, open and shut case. I think personally what we're seeing happen right now are people who realize their livelihoods are being affected in a way that they never expected, because things were good. They were living high off the hog, as some might say. And now the public spotlight is on them. And when that happens, some people out there in this world, they will do anything. They will lie. They will come up with whatever story. They'll do whatever they can in order to try and protect and hold on to that very thing that they have. And so we're going to see the lies. We're going to see the stories. We're going to see whatever they can come up with to try and deflect the blame, so that way they can continue business as usual. But with the Trump administration stepping in right now, it doesn't look like that will happen. But let me know your thoughts. Drop your comments down below. As always, smash that thumbs up. Let me know you love the video. Subscribe to the channel for more, and share this video. That way more people see what's really going on. And until next time.